Okay, guys, so we're going over my turkey hunting setup, gun wise, shell, choke combination this year. Ran this setup 7 years now, I believe. I've had this gun 8, and I'm a big advocate of if it ain't broke, don't fix it. As soon as I have an issue with this system that I'm running, I'll probably switch, but until then, I'll stick with it. The gun in particular here is a Mossberg 935 semi-automatic. Come from the factory with a polymer handguard and a polymer pistol grip stock. I really like that pistol grip stock because when I'm sitting there and it's on my knee, I can manipulate it with one hand. A little bit easier, so it gives me a free hand for operating camera or whatever I need to do. Some people like pistol grips, some don't. It's whatever's comfortable for you and whatever works in your application. This gun is a 12 gauge was chambered in. It's the ultimate configuration, so it can shoot 2 3/4, 3 inch, or 3.5. I really like that versatility because I can hand this gun to a smaller framed person that's not going to handle recoil very well. Load it with 2 3/4, and they're good to go. And then for myself, or somebody that's going to handle recoil a little bit better, I can throw a 3 inch or 3.5 in it, and it does just fine. It's got a good recoil pad, so it don't take your arm off with it. I believe it's a 22-inch barrel. Still has a factory choke in it. They're AccuMag thread, I believe is what they are, Mossberg style. And I believe this is a ultra full 695 constriction. So it's not very tight, but it does just fine for me and my situations. Some people want a really tight pattern. Some people want a little bit more open pattern, and I prefer something kind of in the middle. I pattern this gun out to 60 with the shell combination I run in it now, and it's good. It's up to 60. I still wouldn't feel comfortable shooting at a bird that far. I killed a bird at 64 steps with this gun and this shell combination and such. The situation was sitting on a field edge, the bird was out in the field, so it was wide open, and I misjudged the distance. Like I said, I patterned this gun out to 60. The bird was at 64 yards, and it killed him. Done the job just fine, but even though I know that, I still would prefer not to take the shot because there's a lot of variables that go into that. And around here in the area I hunt, very rarely are you going to have a shot over 40 yards. It's very thick, so there's a lot that can happen. A lot of brush you cannot see that you'll be shooting through. And don't ever want to go out there and win once I try to take ethical shots 40 yards and in. And it's not a knock on the people that take further shots. Just know your setup and what it's capable of, and stick within the confines of those capabilities. Because nobody wants to go out there and win one. Just try to take ethical shots. Which mistakes do happen. I've made them myself, so it's not always preventable, but usually it is. The only thing I did not like about this gun from the factory was the sights, and it came factory with a just front sight post, about a 1 inch strip fiber optic sight, and that worked fine. But I noticed I had to be conscious of making sure I was down on the gun, and sometimes I wouldn't be all the way down on it. Never had any issues with it, but like I said, I want to be able to hand this gun to somebody else and let them use it if I need to. And so I chose to put some aftermarket sights. Got from Midway USA online. They were relatively inexpensive, and I was able to install them myself. They just bolt onto the rib on the top of the barrel. And these sights in particular, they got a front sight post and a rear sight post. They're both fiber optic. It's a single in the front, 2 in the rear, so it's more of a rifle style sight. So it really makes you get down on the gun and line it up, and I really like that. Like I said, the ability to hand this to somebody and the confidence in them to be able to use it is what I was thinking whenever I've done that. A lot of people run red dots. That's another great option, especially for if you want to be handing your gun to people that aren't necessarily the most skilled shooters, and where they may have issues getting down on the gun. A red dot's a great option too. I chose to go with fixed sights just because it's less stuff to get caught on the thickets and stuff that I walk through, as well as I don't risk knocking it off. But a red dot's definitely a great option if that's the route you choose to go. I've shot 30 to 40 different loads out of this gun, and it's patterned everything relatively well. pattern a few better than others, but first year I got it, I didn't really experiment much. I got these here at the local gun store. They're a Federal Premium. I believe they're a mag shot, and they're 3-inch 12 gauge, lead copper plated. These here are 5-shot. I prefer 4 and 5 shot because, like I said, it's really thick in my area, so we try to take ethical shots, but sometimes shooting through brush is inevitable. And it seems to me that the little bit bigger shot, a little bit more density, it busts through the brush a little bit better than the smaller pellets. But that's just been my experience, and it may just be a coincidence. But I prefer 4 and 5 shots. This gun, like I said, it'll eat anything you put in like candy for the most part. But that's just what I prefer to use. Tungsten Super Shot, that's a big thing. Has been for a while now. It's great. It's effective. The good thing about Tungsten Super Shot is it's a lot denser than lead, so you can have a smaller size pellet and still have the same weight and energy transfer as a larger lead pellet, which leads to a higher pellet count with the Tungsten Super Shot, which is always a good thing. It's expensive. That's the only reason I've not went to it. These standard lead loads have worked just fine for me and the shots I'll typically try to take, so I've not felt the need to change. As soon as I have something happen with one of these loads and a bad experience, I'll probably switch, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it. It's kind of my motto. Then the shells, second year I ran this gun, I went with these shells here, and this is what I found the pattern the best out of this gun so far, and I've experimented with it since then with different loads. And these here are the Longbeard XR 3.5 inch, the number 4 shot, 2-ounce load, and obviously they're 12 gauge. That's what's patterned best through this. Like I said, I like the bigger shot, and this gun really likes it too, so that's what I'm stuck with. Never had an issue out of them. As soon as I do, I'll probably switch, but till then, like I said, I'm going to stick with it. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And then also, I ain't got it on here right now. This year, I've got me a barrel mount for my Tacticam 6.0. I'm going to be running that under the barrel here. That way I can for sure get the shot on camera whenever I'm shooting at a bird. So that's my turkey gun setup. It's not necessarily a budget gun, but it's not the most expensive either. It's a good middle ground there, something that it gets the job done. I bought this gun to use. I've carried it through a lot of thickets, and it's starting to show signs of wear, but it's just normal wear and tear. It's nothing on the manufacturer. I didn't want to buy a super high dollar gun and just beat it to pieces in the woods, but I also wanted a nice gun, but something that something that if I put a few scratches on, I wasn't gonna feel bad about. So that's turkey gun setup. Hope you like it.